Here, come on in. Crystal's here, let's begin. No time for that fake stuff. Diamond in the rough, we dive in. Knows why. Real talk, hit it hard. Things raw and real. Crime talk, that's the deal. Crystal's crime conversations. Real talk, no hesitations. Crystal's crime conversations. Fun around raw, all sensations. Come on in. Fun and raw, all sensations. Let's go.
Sorry, my cat wanted out and I had to turn a light on. So I found something. I've been telling you guys that I want to go over messages. Oh my God. I'm going to let you guys listen to this 1 minute. I'll be right back.
Hello, welcome to Ryan Finds Truth. My name is Ryan, and in this episode, we're going to be doing another interview related to the Summer Wells case. This is probably one of the most important interviews we have done to this point. We've talked to people who lived on Light Hollow Road, which is an area close to where Summer went missing. If you haven't seen those interviews, go back and take a look at them. What we are doing in this series is exploring all of the various claims that a man named Fred Hill has made about locals. Fred Hill lived just down.
Okay. I don't think it's up to Ryan to debunk those claims, but he can if he wants, because that's what we all try to do, right? However, I found some things we're going to go over. This is the Karen Elliot interview. We're going to listen to it. But I found, I'm talking about two Karens today. Briefly, I'm hoping this isn't going to be a very long live. Tomorrow's Mother's Day. Hubby gets off work at 7, so I'm hoping to be done by then. What I found was some of my text messages I've been promising you guys between me and Karen Elliot and me and Karen Renfro. They're not in any kind of order. I'm going to read them though. Hey, Selena, sorry. Okay, so let's start with, this is Karen Elliot. She's so full of shit. That's okay. Defamation charges will be filed. Fred's the most vindictive person I know. It's a whole other world down there, that's for sure. That's why when I left Beach Creek, I left all the people behind too. I really didn't associate with nobody that did not live on Beach Creek and accept my mommy and daddy to take care of me. Quite the contrary. I helped mom and dad and Fred and Laura quite a bit, and so has my sister. I mean, really, if I was such a piece of shit, how come I was the only one that would go bond him out of jail when he went for that misdemeanor crap? None of his buddies, Laura Shores, heck, didn't even go. She was getting the money too. As a matter of fact, Laura was on the phone with Zeke while she was doing a live trying to hustle her out of $900 at the same time. But I was at the jail bail bonding Fred out. I believe they got marriage license and I believe they got married before a preacher, but that still don't make them legal. If she's still married to green card guy and she says she's not, but I've not seen no divorce papers, have you? And for their info, it's not insurance fraud when a real crime has been committed, and especially when insurance is not in my name. It's in the banks. The bank has on the house to secure their interest. Ziggy is a stupid bitch. Contrary to what he's telling me, I've not been out of my family's lives all these years. He's the one that has been strung out and standing on the outskirts of the family with his hand out, and we are all good as gold as long as we are putting something in it. This is her talking about Fred. Let me check chat. You can hear? You guys can hear me? Oh, you can hear. Did you hear what I read? And then she sent me his gateway, his where he was in rehab, the phone number. Iron Gate Recovery. That's where Fred was. Okay, just making sure. All right. Here, she's sending me pictures. I have them in pics from my neighbor's security cameras, hauling stuff out of there. They're trying to say I'm committing insurance fraud because I had to file claims with my dad's house insurance because of the damages and theft done to the house when Fred, Kathy, and Kathy's son went up there and destroyed the place. I don't know why Ziggy felt it necessary for her to insert herself into personal family business. That's Kathy's gold SUV and her son's black truck hauling stuff. Kathy's storing stolen property at her house because that's where they found Dad's truck Fred stole. So Fred stole the black Ford Ranger that's in Julie's name that Ziggy said just the other day we went over that Julie had custody of. So why is Fred stealing Dad's truck and taking it to Kathy Gordon's house? And now Ziggy is accusing Kathy Gordon of stealing and putting his shit on eBay and selling it behind Fred and Ziggy's back when all along it was stolen to fucking begin with, right? Out of Mom's house, not Fred's house, not where Fred and Laura lived, but out of the Mom's house. Okay. And what Ziggy don't realize also is when that incident happened in Virginia and Fred was in jail, I took Mom to every court proceeding he had, to every appointment with CPS. I was one of their contact numbers after he got out of jail and was supposed to be going to supervised visitation and drug testing. They said as of right now, it's a civil matter, but I'm waiting on one piece of paperwork to go through and it won't be a civil matter anymore. What hurt me worse was when him and Ziggy was putting on YouTube that I found his drug stash and I had found his money he had. I never been charged with insurance fraud, nor I ever committed insurance fraud. I think he's protecting her. Why else would a woman scorn to keep their mouth shut? You should not put much stock into anything Laura says either. Fred and Laura, okay, so this is what I wanted to pull out. Absolutely, in my opinion, question. So do you remember I pulled up a clip of Laura the other day and Laura was saying, oh, Fred was waiting on a car accident money. And then I went on to tell you that Karen Elliot told me about that car accident. Here's some of those messages that go to that. Fred and Laura were passengers in Mom's car when she had an accident, and they settled separately for Mom for a small amount of money. I found the paperwork. I don't know what she's thinking. No. It was back before that incident happened in Virginia, and they claimed that Mom and Julie set him up so they could get his insurance settlement. So Fred was accusing them of stealing, I think it was $50,000. But Laura came on here and said they were getting money from an insurance claim for a car after halfway saying from somebody's death, like Fred's mother. So it was really odd to me, and that's why I was looking for these messages, because this one message is not included in the messages I have posted. But that's her writing it to me. Okay. Apparently she's so lazy she don't read her own comment section. I've never been charged with insurance fraud, nor have I ever committed insurance fraud. This is her when she wrote me. Hi, I'm Ellie. We wrote each other. I think she did write me first, though. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't remember. Okay. So before we go into this, they're trying to say I'm committing insurance fraud because I had to file claims with my dad's house insurance because of the damages, theft, some to the house when her and Fred, Kathy, some of these are repeated. Kathy's son went up there and destroyed the place. No, I never went to, oh, here's where we start Karen Renfro. I have them pics from a neighbor's security cam hauling stuff out of there. All right, we are done with Karen Elliot. I don't know what this is referencing. Oh, wait, no, we're not. We have one more thing. This is a comment where Karen was writing me. She was my friend. She was cool. And then I wrote her that I know Karen Renfro and had been talking to Karen Renfro. And then her and Six Up immediately went and attacked me on Six Up channel and no longer liked me, but can't tell you why they didn't like me or why they just quit coming to my chat or why they were screaming at me and calling me out. There was literally no reason for it. They were in my chat being cool as fuck with me, and I didn't even know that we had any sort of problem till Six Up and Tragedy Pimps Exposed made a live with Ellie Mae in the chat backstabbing the shit out of me, right? But as you could see, Karen Elliot and me were having conversations, and I have more. I just got to find them, but that was an important one, the last one I read. However, I don't know what this is on. Oh, this is on Ziggy's. She left a comment on Ziggy's I saved. Keep my name out of your mouth or I will talk about the shady shit that was did at Dad's. I have pics of all the people that was there from a neighbor's surveillance. Want me to start naming names and showing pics of white Reynolds or black 4x4s or gold SUVs? You've threatened and slandered me for the last time. Better back it the fuck up. For your information, my sister wasn't tripping. She never shot a gun. She was tested on scene for gunpowder residue, and she was negative. So was her gun. He also didn't do years in prison. He did 4 months in Abingdon Regional Jail and got out. Get your facts straight, Ziggy. How about y'all focus on being together in Indiana and make that the topic of your lives? And for your information, Hawkins County Sheriff's Office don't care if you run Fred. They said they wouldn't extradite you because they want you gone. Just a thought. Okay. Clinton's cash is missing, right? I don't know. I didn't hear. Was Clinton robbed? I never heard the whole details. Like, I know what Fred said about being involved, but I don't know much about how Clinton was found. I wondered about that too. How much did he have on him when weren't being followed? Crazy. Okay, so we're going to listen to some of Karen Elliott's interview. I don't think we need to hear Ryan. I want your thoughts.
With you and your son. Do you mind just going over, because I know now it's brief, what actually happened there in your background?
Well, yes, I am a convicted felon. I was sentenced to 15 years in prison. I did just short of 5 years from 2014 until August of 2018. My charges, I had a narcotics charge, and it was one more tab and an accommodation charge for one client.
I'm going to read these with you. I don't see anything on here that says one more tab. But you know what's really funny? Andy Bernard gave the same story after I read his charges and caught him lying to the Summer Wells community. He also says he was caught with just one lower tab during the James Light investigation. Both of them. But here's her charges. Ryan's going to show them. Just
And
one.
it was one more.
Just one of her charges. He's not showing her whole criminal record. He's showing just one part of a criminal record. We don't get to see the whole thing. Are there more charges behind her? I don't know. But the offense date was June 6, 2012, while all the light meth bust pill clinic people were being busted, just like Jody, Sue, and Andy. Charges filed on April 1st, 2013. It was a felony. Sell, distribute, scheduled IV drug. Arrest date April 10th. She took an Elford plea, much like Brandon Lawson. She had court costs of $998. She had a suspended sentence. She spent 4 years in prison. Max sentence years 5. She pled guilty. So do you think they would put her in jail for one fucking lawyer tab for 5 fucking years? This bitch is lying to you. My opinion. Deposition date January 6, 2014. It was commenced by a direct indictment. Indefinite supervision. Now, I went to, because Ziggy's trying to say that is forever, and it's not. What is indefinite supervision while on probation in Tennessee? In Tennessee, indefinite supervision usually means there's no exact end date currently set for your supervision, or the supervision can continue until the court parole board or probation authority official releases you. It does not always mean lifetime probation, but it does mean you stay under supervision until certain conditions are met. A few situations this comes up in Tennessee. A judge may extend probation after violations. Some offenders can involve very long-term, lifetime community supervision. Your case may have been moved from supervised to unsupervised, but still technically remain active. Sometimes court or TDOC systems are indefinite, when no discharge date has been entered yet. On probation, it generally means you still must obey all probation conditions. You can still be violated or revoked. You may still have reporting requirements, drug test fees, or restrictions depending on the case. The supervision continues until the court TDOC formally ends it. Tennessee law does normally place limits on probation length in many cases, often up to 8 years for one conviction and up to 10 years for multiple convictions. But there are exceptions depending on the offense and the sentence type. If you saw indefinite supervision on paperwork or a website, the exact meaning can depend on probation versus parole, felony versus misdemeanor, whether it's an S offense, whether there was a violation, revocation, and whether it says supervised, unsupervised, or community supervision. If you when I can paste the exact wording, whatever. But you get the point. It doesn't mean that Karen Elliot is on supervised probation forever. It's just until the courts say that they want her off of probation. Is she off? I don't know. Ryan's not posting any paperwork stating that she is. Is it our fucking business? Not really, except for she's a rug dealer like the rest of them. But Ryan's going to come out here and make her look squeaky clean.
And an accommodation charge for one client.
Two bills. And how much time did you serve?
I pulled almost 5 years.
In prison. Was there violence or something else that made the charge worse?
No, my son had got in trouble, and they didn't have the evidence that they needed to charge him because the person described their attacker as a tall, curly-headed woman with black hair.
Have you ever attacked anybody?
No, I was at home in bed. I wasn't no part of that.
Okay.
I found out after the fact about it, but I was no part of that because I was sentenced to 15 years in prison. I did just short of 5 years from 2014 until August of 2018. My charges, I had a narcotics charge, and it was one more tab, and an accommodation charge for one client.
Two bills. And how much time did you serve?
I pulled almost 5 years.
In prison. Was there violence or something else that made the charge worse?
No, my son had got in trouble, and they didn't have the evidence that they needed to charge him because the person described their attacker as a tall, curly-headed woman with black hair.
Have you ever attacked anybody?
No, I was at home in bed.
So what? She's also been charged for attacking somebody, but Ryan's not showing them charges. Is that what she's saying? This woman has an extensive criminal history. Criminals know how to lie to you. I wouldn't put fucking any thought into anything these people say, any of them.
I wasn't no part of that.
Okay.
I found out after the fact about it, but I was no part of that because I had my drug charge previous to him getting in trouble, and the sheriff had pulled me in, asked me to come to the sheriff's office that they needed to talk to me. When I got there, they went ham on me, literally. They were very aggressive. I was not read no rights, and they were demanding that I write statements against my son, and I refused. And the sheriff told me that if I did not write statements on my son, that I would go down with him. And I said, well, I guess that's just how it's going to have to be because I can't write statements on something and lie about it. When I eventually went to court, they charged me with conspiracy to breaking and entering on top of my drug charges. And before I had went to court, they had a warrant and came to my house, and they found a gun in my closet that my husband at the time, his grandfather, had passed away and had.
So if she's not going to snitch on her son about whatever crime this is, conspiracy, she's telling us her son's also a criminal, right? Ziggy has said that. He's a major hacker. He does all this shit. But here she is. She won't snitch on her son. What makes you think she'd snitch on anybody that took Summer? Think about that really fucking hard. She wouldn't write a statement against her son. If I found out my son did a crime, I would write a statement against him because he has children, and I wouldn't want my son to grow up committing crimes and spending his whole life in prison. You have to learn from your mistakes. This is a mom that welcomes her son being a criminal. But okay, y'all, go for it.
Gave him a rifle. It was broken down. It wasn't even a whole functioning gun. It was broken down into pieces, wrapped up, put in a box, and in the back of the closet. They charged me also with a nonviolent felony weapons charge, and I haven't even been convicted of a felony yet. And as a matter of fact, at that time, I had a valid concealed weapon permit.
The drug charges, had you sold drugs to someone?
No. I gave someone a pill, 2 pills.
Why'd you give it to them?
Because they were begging me, and I wanted them out of my face and out of my house and to leave me alone.
So you gave them these pills to
Yeah.
They were saying they were in pain or they just wanted them?
They were claiming to be in pain.
Okay.
It was a woman. It was the mother of one of my oldest son's friends. And, he would come and hang out at the house. Okay. And obviously, with enough time going by, he knew I had pain medication because I'd had 2 separate back surgeries and
just prescribed meds.
Yeah,
okay.
Prescribed meds. So, eventually here comes this. She comes to under the pretense to the house to see if her son was there. And I'm like, no, he's not here right now. He might be at one of his other friends' houses or something. And that's when she started talking about, my back is killing me. Can you give me a pain pill? And just the whole sob story. I give her a pill, and I give her a nerve pill, a Klonopin.
Yeah.
And she throws $20 down and says, well, here, at least, at first she said, can I pay you for this? And I said, no, I don't want nothing for it. And she said, well, here.
You know how I came on here a couple weeks ago and told you all that I was drugged as a teenager pictures and images were taken of my body. I've showed them. I'm still trying to get over that. I'm doing a little better a couple weeks in. I was told I was given Klonopin the day I took them, and here she is freely taking prescription pills during the James Light shit, Klonopin and Loratab, just like in the James Light shit, just like Andy Bernard telling you she's given some lady, her son's friend, who she refused to write a statement on, her son. Like, if you can't understand these people are fucking criminals, I don't know what the fuck to tell you. If you trust anything they say just because Ryan Fine's dick fucking interviewed them, it's bullshit. She been out here for the whole 5 years. Why does she wait 5 years to do a fucking interview?
And she threw it down on the coffee table and said, well, at least, get you some gas or some cigarettes or something with it. When my motion of discovery came out, she had a camera in her purse. She was wearing wires for law enforcement as a confidential informant to get out of her own drug charges.
She was wired by the police. Which police?
Scott County.
Scott County set you up, essentially.
Yeah.
That's insane. So that explains those drug charges. That's why you went to prison for that long.
So then Ryan's going to agree with her. The county set you up. No, she went to jail, Ryan, because she was caught with drugs. Didn't nobody fucking set her up? And if they did, it was because they were setting everybody up involved in the Frank Light shit. It was all during that operation. You're a twit.
I went to prison for the drug charges, the 2 pills.
Yeah.
They convicted me of conspiracy to be an E, which is what Sheriff Puckett promised me if I did not testify against Cody, and then the nonviolent felony weapon charge.
Okay. So that explains prison time. Now I'm really confused because the other claims that have been said about you. Are you okay talking about your husband and all that mess?
Somewhat.
That's probably some of the worst stuff they're saying.
Yeah.
And so some of the claims are that you were involved in his death, you and your sons. Do you mind telling the truth about that whole thing, if you can?
My first husband.
Yeah.
He had some mental health problems, and he was a really, really bad alcoholic. And he committed.
Oh.
My oldest son was 4. My youngest son was 21 months old when it happened. His intentions was for it to be a murder. He was going to kill all of us and then kill himself.
How do you know that was his intention?
Because earlier that day, he had already held a gun to my head. And then on a separate instance, I was washing dishes and he walked up behind me and put a butcher knife to my throat and told me that that's what he was going to do.
So he was making threats already the whole time?
He had.
I'm a survivor of my first husband who committed an unaliving. He jumped in front of a train in McKees Rocks. His name's Michael Mulvey. You can look it up. It was on the news. I feel for her if her story's true. But you also have to speculate, did she get out of something? Because she did tell me that she was questioned in his unaliving and that they thought he did not commit unaliving at first. That I don't have that message, but that is what she told me. I don't know what she's going to say in this interview. I've not yet heard the whole interview. We've watched bits and pieces of it the other day in a live he did. This is the first time I'm seeing he actually did post the whole interview. So we're just going to listen. I don't have much to say about this. If you're feeling suicidal, I try to get this out. I have this week. And last month was the month for suicide awareness. I wish I would have done a little more. It's also organ donation awareness month this month. Last month, April, though, September. I got to remember. If you're feeling suicidal, you could dial 988. Hours are available 24/7, and the cost is free. Or you could text home to 741-741 to reach a trained crisis counselor through Crisis Text Line, a global non-for-profit organization. It's 24/7 and it's free and confidential. Please utilize that if you're feeling at risk or you need to talk to somebody. Okay. We're just going to listen. I'm not going to commentate because it's a sore spot for me. Unless I feel the need to.
He had threatened to kill me multiple times.
Was he alone when he did?
No.
He was in front of you guys?
He had, at the time, he had a regular job, and he also was a volunteer firefighter for Bloomingdale.
Okay.
And he was also going to school to be a paramedic. He went to the fire hall with some of his buddies, just to hang out. They were all going to go and hang out at All Wild.
Yeah, okay, I've heard of
and hang out with guys. It was about 11:30, 12 o'clock at night. Well, about 12 o'clock. He had called me and said, "You need to come pick me up." And I said, "No, I've got boys in bed and I've got to be up early in the morning for work." Well, about 1:15, 1:30, he comes home. Some of his firefighter buddies bring him home because while he was there, he told them he was going to go home and kill himself.
Yes, you told him.
He had told them
Oh
that.
my gosh. Okay.
I found that out later on when I had requested a copy of all the people that they had took statements from. And there's a stack of probably 8 to 10 people, different people from his work, from the fire department, and from where he was going to school to be a paramedic, of people making the same statement that he had told them that he was going to kill himself.
Okay.
He was telling everybody, I'm struggling, I need help, I'm going to kill myself. And nobody listened. Firefighters didn't listen.
That's insane. They're
Paramedic instructors didn't listen. Nobody listened. So they bring him home because he had said he was going to kill himself. When after he got home, they came inside with him. I was in bed asleep, and I hear him come in, and I got up and was kind of hearing the conversation. They hung around for 15, 20 minutes. He was showing them his guns and everything. They knew he had guns in the house. I went to the bathroom. When they left, he came to the bathroom and said, "When you get done, come to the living room, I'll talk to you." And I said, "Oh, okay." I said, "Will you give me a cigarette?" And he went and got me a cigarette and brought it to me. And, I got done with the bathroom and went into the living room. And when I had got into the living room, he had scooted the recliner out into the middle of the floor. He had removed all of his clothes. He was butt naked. He was sitting in a recliner with a Ruger 45 pistol. Okay. Prior to that, I knew he had the pistol, and I couldn't access it to take it away, hide the bullets, nothing. Yeah. But he had shotguns and stuff in the house, and I had went through. I didn't have the guns, but I had got all the shotgun shells, everything I could find. When I came down the hall, the way we were living in a single wide, the way it was laid out, go in the front door. There's the living room. Here's the kitchen. Here's the oldest 4-year-old son's bedroom is at the kitchen. To the left of the living room is the hallway. There's a bedroom there. That's where my youngest son's bedroom was. There's a bathroom and then the master bedroom at the very end. I came down the hallway from the bathroom and come into the living room. He's sitting in the recliner that he's got in the middle of the floor, facing the couch. He's buck naked, and he's got the gun. I just automatically, I said, "Oh, hell no." And I turned around to run back down the hallway because I was going to run out the back door. And he jumps up and runs after me, grabs me by the hair of the head. And we end up in our bedroom fighting over this gun.
Oh my God.
I ended up on the bed with him on top of me and the gun in between us. And I don't know how I did it, but I got my feet between us and I kicked him so hard he landed in the closet.
Wow.
He fell through the closet. And I still had the gun when I did it.
Okay.
Thank God. I still had the gun when he landed in the closet. I jump up, I run outside. And I had, at the end of the trailer, I had a flower bed, and it's like baskets on their side where the flowers spill out. I threw the gun up in it. And I was standing out there thinking, "Oh my God, what am I going to do?" And he was inside pacing around saying, "Karen, come in here. I got something for you." And I heard the shotgun cock. We had a pump shotgun.
Oh my God.
And I was standing outside the front of the trailer, off the porch, looking through. The lights were on, the door was open. You could see. He cocked the shotgun, and he starts walking toward my oldest son's bedroom. And I barreled through the house screaming, "Jason, Jason, Jason." He turns around, and he says, "I'm going to give you something to remember me for the rest of your life." He grabs the shotgun with his left hand and puts it in his mouth. I grabbed the shotgun below his hand and was trying to pull it out of his mouth. And he reaches down with his thumb and pushes the trigger. It was so close. His head went straight back. Later on at the hospital, I found out what.
That was way more than Karen told me. I covered it. I'm very sorry if that's what happened to Karen. But we also hear her say that she had the pew in her hand. She also told me, and I don't know what's going to go in after this, that she was questioned. They did almost put her in jail for his unaliving. Fred and Ziggy brought that out, but she was not charged. So I'm going to go with they didn't charge her with the unaliving of her husband, and that is a tragedy, and that is horrible and awful to go through. And my prayers are with her for having to witness that with 2 small children. I believe that was their father. The threats, he was abusive. You hear her say he held a butcher to her. That's heartbreaking. That's also a rough life, and it's also trauma. But it doesn't excuse the fact that their sister Julie was there on a day Summer went missing, and that I think they're fake fighting and sticking up for each other. Very intense if it's true. You know what? I'm out. I will stick up for her there. When I talk about my ex-husband, you tell the story so many times over years, and this happened when her children were just 2 years old. Her children are full-grown men now. After you tell the story so many times, you kind of become emotionally detached because it's just part of your story. You get so used to telling that story. I could tell my husband's story without crying. So I'm not going to hold that against her. She's been going through it for years and years and years. And I'm not here to, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I have times when I cry, but those times are left to myself. They're not left for public always. There's times I cry in public. It just depends on the situation or the memory. But you become sort of detached from the story after. Yeah, it's been years. Like I said, my ex threw himself in front of a train. I had the police report. Did I cry when I read it? Yeah. Did I cry for months after every time I thought of it? Yeah. Do I cry now when I tell you what it said? No. It's kind of gross. I'm not going to go into detail. Yeah, everybody grieves differently, so I'm not going to hold that against her. But let's hear if she talks about how they were going to arrest her.
I had pellets in me, and it was the grace of God was between me and him.
Yeah.
Can you take a break?
And I'm listening. I got to run to the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back. I can still hear it.
Yeah.
I just want to get this story over with, and then we can take a break. He fell backwards into my son's bedroom, just through the doorway. And I fell backwards the other way with the gun in my hands. I jumped up and I ran outside and beating on the neighbor's door because I was looking. I jumped up. I was looking for the phone. All we had was Gordon's phone. I couldn't find it. He had hid it under the cushions on the couch. So I ran and I knocked on the neighbor's door, and I couldn't get him away. His mom and dad lived at the bottom of the driveway in the house. I ran all the way down there and beat the door, and I couldn't get them answered. I ran all the way back up. By the time I get back up, the neighbor came out. The neighbor man, and I said, please help me. I said, help me get these babies out of the house. Because by that time, they were both awake. Of course, a gunshot with the shotgun.
They must have seen it too.
Well, they were asleep.
I mean, when they woke up,
My oldest son, because I had to crawl over Jason to get to Jeremiah. The neighbor took both kids to his house and came to his wife and came back. And he found the phone, and I called 911. And while I was on the phone with 911 telling them what was going on, Jason started breathing.
No.
They told me to roll him over on his side because he was gargling. When I rolled him over on his side, I laid there with him on his side for 45 minutes with my fingers down what was left of his throat, keeping his airway open because I didn't know his brain was gone. I just knew he was breathing. It was so bad. When the authorities started showing up, they sent one detective in the house with me because it was so bad. And he stood with his back to me until the paramedics got there. He wouldn't even look.
I need to ask one thing before we finish this session because I think we both need a break right now. Were you ever charged with anything for this situation?
No.
Were you ever questioned?
No, I was questioned. I mean, they have to do an investigation.
But did they ever say that you were a suspect?
No, they did. They did fingerprints on that gun, and all 10 of my digits were exactly where they were supposed to be.
The evidence proved that you did not pull that trigger.
No, I didn't.
I hate it. I fucking hate it. What he has done to her is despicable.
Use this story especially.
Yes, knowing how painful it is, and that she laid there with her husband's head when he was dying and holding his airway. You fucking bastard.
He lived for 11 hours. 11 hours.
He still lived that long. So he was. Did they take him in? Actually, try to do something? Like did they?
Oh yeah, he was intubated and transported because he was breathing. Yeah. He lived for 11 hours. When they got him there, they had transfused him because of all the blood loss, the severe blood loss that he
tried
had.
To save his life.
Yes. And they told me that they had put enough fluids and blood in him to fill 7 grown men before they done his blood alcohol level. What would you think that it would be after being diluted that much?
Yeah.
It would probably be pretty low, right? Even after all that, his blood alcohol was still 1.89, enough to give 5 people alcohol poisoning.
Oh my God.
That's how high it still was. And when he did what he did, he was walking and talking just like you and me are right now.
Obviously, I mean, this seems obvious, and I'm sorry I have to ask this question, but the relationship must have been an ongoing. He was abusive toward you.
He was very abusive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's break time.
Yeah, I need a cigarette.
All right. We've rested. We're gonna get back into now some of the long list of other claims made about you.
Okay.
Right? We'll focus on your mom for a little bit.
Okay.
So she got sick at some point from the beginning to when she passed. Like how long of a period was that?
She had end-stage COPD. Well, I mean, she had COPD for years. At the end stage, when it got really bad, she was on oxygen. The last couple, maybe 3 years of her life, were probably the worst. That was when, she really wasn't able to get out and do a lot. But right before summer went missing, was probably when she started getting the worst.
Okay.
She started having pneumonia a lot, had to go to the hospital, and
This was during COVID too, right? So
Yes.
That was a danger.
Yes, that's what Dad passed away of.
Okay.
Was COVID. He wasn't poisoned like they claimed, but Mom was in and out of the hospital multiple times.
A long stint at any point? Or?
She would spend, 2 or 3 weeks in, a week to 2 weeks in ICU, and then they would step her down in the hospital to.
So when she went in, it was ICU. It was bad.
She would go in intubated, not able to breathe for herself, things like that. It was pretty, pretty scary. They would step her down when she would get off the breathing tube and stuff, and then eventually they would send her to like a rehab, a nursing home for therapy and stuff, so she could go back home. Yeah, it happened a lot. The last time she went to the hospital, Julie had been down there and she went home, and Julie had installed cameras in the house. That way, even when she went home to tend to her home or feed her animals or whatever she had to do, she could still kind of keep an eye on her and make sure she was okay. Because Julie, she lived Reservoir Road, so that's just
20 minutes or so.
tops, 15, 20 minutes, tops.
All rooms of the house or just certain rooms?
Just the living room. Mom had a twin-size bed in the living room.
Oh, that's where her bed was.
That's where, that way she had easier access to things because she was on the oxygen and the long cord and stuff. She really, it just gave her more access if she wanted to go to the bathroom or go make her a cup of coffee or something. She could get there, easily.
Julie's your sister?
Yes.
She would check the camera often?
Yeah.
Okay.
If there was any movement or anything, she'd get a notification.
She got notifications?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So just in case Mom got up and was lightheaded and fell or anything, it was just a good precautionary thing to have.
Julie went to the hospital with her sometimes. Did anyone else, Laura, anyone else ever go to the hospital?
I think Laura rode with Julie one time. She was there for about 15 minutes and she dipped out when Ziggy pulled up and picked her up. That was a January.
The only time Laura ever went to the hospital with your mom?
Was that one? Well, she didn't go with Mom. She actually just rode with Julie and then got out of there as quick as she could.
Can you tell us a little bit about that incident?
Oh, yeah. Ziggy picked her up. That was the weekend that Ziggy didn't said she didn't get to record any interviews or conversations with Fred. She did post a video of the drive with her and Laura down Lone Star Road. You can hear on the video her talk about street signs, so I know where she was at.
Okay.
But other than that, that was the only audio that she produced of that whole weekend. That was the weekend Mom was getting ready to be sent to rehab. Julie had went down there to get some clothes and stuff for Mom, and she went in the house. And in the bathroom, there was mud smeared everywhere, and there was a all white long sleeve shirt laying in there that would fit a child.
What age do you
Early to middle teens.
Okay. Do you have any idea where that might come from?
Probably Ziggy or Ziggy's daughter,
Right.
is what me and Julie had figured.
Okay.
Because after the fact, I believe Fred had told Julie that Ziggy was there
They were just hanging out in the house then probably for...
using the bathroom, doing something, taking showers. I don't know what they were doing.
it was muddy.
There was mud in there. Yeah.
Okay.
Here's what I'm going to say. She keeps saying now they're Ziggy's clothes. However, Ziggy doesn't wear small. I can tell you right now, Ziggy wears anywhere from an extra large to a fucking 3X. There is no fucking way Ziggy is wearing a small fucking muddy shirt. This doesn't make sense to me. It never fucking did.
Okay, let's get into in and out of hospital. Eventually, she's back home. When she passed, she was home.
No, this situation, the last time she ended up having to go to the hospital, Julie had, like I said, she had left and went home, and she had seen Laura in the house on the camera between 11 and 12, but she said that the camera she had went ahead and laid down, and she woke up, the camera had went offline. She had a notification that the camera went offline about midnight.
Oh, that it went offline.
That it went offline.
So she gets a notification that it goes offline. That was around midnight?
Around midnight.
Okay.
And that it had came back online around 4 a.m. And she was pulling up, trying to zoom in to see Mom, and she couldn't see Mom
4 a.m.
at 4 a.m. And she said, I just put my shoes on, grabbed my keys, and went on down there. And she said when she got there that Fred was out in the driveway doing something. She went on in the house, and Mom was laying in the floor in front of her bed.
You were sitting on the floor, you face down?
Yeah, she was laying face down, like with her knees up under her, and laying face down with her head on a baby wipe box, because we kept baby wipes in case she needed to wipe herself or something,
She was on the bed, she was on the floor.
She was on the floor. The mattress was pulled halfway off the bed. There was a knife on the laying on the mattress. Julie said that she thought that Mom might have been trying to get up to use her potty chair that was beside her bed. But the lid wasn't raised or nothing, but the lid did have a pair of pliers between the seat and the lid. And Mom's pants and underwear was pulled down around her knees. And she had laid there for so long that was already getting cold. Julie said that she got her up back into the bed and started working with her. She could tell she was barely breathing. She called 911, and it took about 45 minutes for the ambulance to get there.
So Julie sees this on camera, but automatically is there. She helps Mom get back to the bed. So what? Julie got in her car, drove over. What happened? That's odd to me. That she's just automatically there to help Mom back into the bed. Not call an ambulance after Mom's already been sitting there for how long waiting for Julie to get there, right? Was Laura still there when Mom woke up on the floor? Like, there's a lot of fucking questions about this shit. And the one that's even best is the one that Fred says that Laura wasn't there, but he was. He was in the driveway. I have it recorded. We will go watch. I'm just going to let them play instead of commentating on them. You know what? Let's do that now. We can start where we left off. Actually, let me put these two. Let's see if I have a shorter video about it. This is a 36-minute video followed by a 6-minute and 45-second video. I'm going to come down, smoke my weed, have some cigarettes, let you all listen to this. Oh, hold on.
Good.
They talk about it in this video. I think it's this video. We won't move on if it is. But in this video, Laura will talk about her and Karen getting into a fight in Ziggy's chat. I think it's in here. I'm almost positive. So let's just listen. About the mom on the floor.
I told him I'd be there no matter what, that I wouldn't do him like last time. The reason why last time I done him that way is because 3 days after he went to jail, he turned his shit back up. He turned everything over to his mom. He didn't give me a chance to do anything for him. After his mom caused us to lose our children and everything.
Did you? Yeah, I know. I remember that. I remember that whole situation.
So I told him to go to hell. Took his mom's side over me.
Right, and he knows, and he didn't trust his mom very much either, right? I don't think.
No.
I mean,
all they done was put him in jail so they could get that money.
yeah.
Because he was getting ready to get $50,000 from a life insurance, car accident.
I just went over that text message. That happened way before Fred even went to jail for the Pew Pew in Virginia. That's a lie. It was the life insurance. Is that planned? They were expecting life insurance from who? His parents, Laura? Is that what Ziggy thought she was going to get when she married Fred? She had to steal your man for life insurance money? Just speculating.
Oh, okay, so somebody's here that is trying to, I think it's, I don't know if I don't want to upset you, but do you want me to, it might be one of the sisters commenting here, or do you want me to ignore it?
Fred's sisters?
Possibly. I don't know what it's saying. They're saying what's messed up is he left you with $400 and then me and my sister went to get you to take you to the jail and help him. You refused to go. So it must be one of his sisters.
That's a fucking lie. That's a lie. That's a damn lie.
It's somebody's the screen name is called Not Today. I do know that the sisters have been coming around because Julie was on here the other day.
Well, Just ignore it because I don't got nothing to say to that bitch.
Okay. I'll just
I
ignore
just
him.
had to fight. I had to fight her the other day.
Which one,
Just
Julie or
get a little bit of clothes. Karen.
oh.
They took over everything up there like they own everything. But I got news for them. I can go back and get anything I want up there on that hill. I was there for 20 damn years. All I have to do is get the law.
Right. You can't contact anybody, so it's even worse.
And the car that I was driving, I couldn't drive the truck because his sister threatened to call the law on me.
Right. They're going to be watching you. Yeah. They're going to be watching you. So if you don't have your...
I know they don't have a driver's license.
Yeah.
And they could have got me for stealing the truck because it's in Julie's name. So I don't know what he's thinking about, that I had different vehicles to drive, but he needs to get off the dope.
I also just read text messages about the vehicles where Karen Elliot said that Fred and Kathy Gordon stole the truck. So this is Laura talking about that. The truck, the black truck Jeremy Pill seen leaving Ben Hill fucking Road that day, disappeared and went to Kathy Gordon's house after Fred got out of jail.
I believe.
And now Fred got Sister Julie's blue van, which was on the street the day Summer went missing.
In common law partners.
Yes.
Huh?
I swear, as God's my witness, Fred did not give me no $400. There was $60 in his wallet. It makes me so mad, man.
He said 300. No, I don't even know where 400 is. It sounds like the sisters are talking about a previous arrest, about 400 or something. But
they're crazy.
This time's kind of, what makes me mad is that you didn't even admit to that. You said you had all 5 subtexts and you can sell them to get you some money. What? Something about 5 subtexts she's saying, I don't know. But she wasn't good at selling. She can't sell anything. I mean, gosh, she just got in trouble for. Yeah. What? Who is both using? Are you talking about? Who do you mean not today? I know how much they were both using. They took both our checks every month and bought as much meth as they could. Both your checks. Anyways. I'm not trying to ignore you not today, but I don't want to, I mean, you're welcome to make your comments in the chat and stuff. I just don't want to, it's not going to go anywhere. I don't want any type of combativeness this early in the morning.
Better get a laugh.
So
instead of messing with my life, won't you go mess with your own? Clean out your own closet.
But
we long to help you while you're at it.
Well, they admitted it though. I mean, Fred's admitted that he. So somebody in the, I think it's one of the sisters said something about Fred, or you got using drugs or whatever. But Fred's already admitted that never was a secret. He's always been very open about his drug use.
Yeah.
But, I guess that's up to people to decide. Like, does that mean, if he was using drugs, can we trust him, what he's saying? I mean, I don't think just because somebody is using drugs that we have to discount everything they say and not, I know meth is one of those drugs that sometimes can cause people to have, if they're up for many days and stuff, they can have some type. Does he ever have any of those, like where he goes?
4 months later, they're married, but she don't trust them. Meth is just one of those drugs that make you, I don't know if we can trust everything, but I mean, Fred's, yeah. She married him 4 months later. Laura's sitting in Glenda Head's house doing this interview, collecting fucking money through Ziggy Ziggy's going to marry her man 4 months later. Glenda, years later, is going to do this fucking interview and not mention that she was the one in the car with Laura when Laura got arrested, right? Like, hey. And then we got the whole Laura was dating Brandon Clark for a little bit. No, that's because Laura was living there with them after she got out of jail, accusing them of stealing her ID, her purse, all her money, Fred's money, all Fred's shit. Everything was in Laura's purse. And Glenda took it. They sent somebody.
Into kind of has a.
I've never seen where he goes into hallucinations. No.
Okay.
Everybody.
Huh?
I've had everybody ask me if he was snitching and everything else, and I don't think Fred's a snitch. I've never known of him to tell on anybody for anything.
Yeah, I don't think so at all. Now, people can call him a snitch if they want to because of the Summer Wells thing, but that's so
people
different.
calling me a snitch, and I done my time.
Yeah.
It's just something that you got to deal with when you get out of jail.
Oh, wow. So here's something I'm going to tell you. So one of his sisters just said Fred got his motion of discovery, and Fred said that Jeff Everly and Pat Wilcox were the ones that bought from him. He also did a polygraph. Oh my God, can you send me a copy of it, please?
That's good.
Please? Can you please? It would be so good for Fred, because you don't understand, I'm sure you do understand how many people are trying to blame him. If you have a copy of that, would be really, really important to get out there.
Why don't she sell his cars and get him out of jail? Or she just gonna put that on everything else to her pocket?
She said that Fred
blame me for it.
She said Fred had a polygraph done on him. It was requested by Detective Pruitt, and the TBI did the polygraph. So did he pass? You haven't stated if he passed. Oh yeah, the polygraph was done about Summer, guys, because that's what he was talking about. There you go, baby.
There you go. There you go.
How's your dogs doing, by the way?
Yes. Ernie Shell's aunt, Brenda, married Pete Clark. They lived in Peru, Indiana, and they also lived in Warsaw, Indiana. When they lived in Warsaw, Indiana, Ziggy was one of their neighbors. Can't make this shit up. You can go Ben verify Pete Clark and Brenda Shell. You will see the ties and the connections. I'm not sure that I have the PDF. But Glenda had got on there and said, and it's not Ernie Shell's Brenda. It's Ernie Shell's aunt, his father's sister. Ernie said it, him fucking self. I got the video. But yes, they lived in both Peru, Indiana, and Warsaw, Indiana. Pete Clark and Brenda Shell. And Brandon Clark. Yes, that's very true.
I don't know. I lost them.
Uh-uh.
Yeah, I lost my dogs. Everything I had.
That's what we were afraid of. Not today. Do you know if the dogs are okay?
No.
I know. I was asking whoever that is in the chat. I wish that Fred's sister. I wish she would email me that copy of a. If you have a lie detector test, that would be really, really helpful to people here.
Don't hold your breath, Ziggy.
Did he pass? Not today? Don't hold my breath. Because you're not saying, and what you're gonna do is, by you not saying, people are gonna automatically assume he failed. Because why wouldn't you say? I don't know. I kind of want to see it to be for sure. I mean,
During JLR's live, he said he came back 8 months prior to Summer going missing from Indiana. Brandon did. And Pete Clark is now dead, I believe. I believe he has passed away. I think so. You know what? While we're talking about that, I've been going over my family, and you guys can go look at that information. There's one with the name Shipley in it. The last one I did with the name Shipley in the title. It explains all of my connections. Please go to my channel and watch it. But you know what I think is similar to what's going on in Summer's case? Now would be a good time, because we're an hour in, to take a break. We're not going to watch the whole thing. But this right here,
whatever made him decide that is not. Good afternoon, everyone. As you know, I'm.
Somebody shared this with me the other day. I'm not saying this is exactly what's going on with my dad and Ziggy, but I want to show you how things like this could happen. And this is something similar to what I'm thinking was going on with my KKK cousin Sean and my father and the people that live in the Ben Hill area, like Karen Renfro's family. Because I know they visited us in Miami when my dad was doing bad shit with Cocaine Cowboys. For real, it ain't a fucking lie. You can go and verify him. You'll see who owned his buildings he lived in and do your own research. And my dad was one of Ziggy's neighbors, which is really fucking odd, down in Miami where her father ran condominiums. And he also works for an electrical company, but what he works with is wind power. Things like that. And my dad invested a lot of money in that, in stocks. It was one of his habits. It was one of his things him and I thought about. I thought he was fucking crazy and it was all bullshit. Now I'm finding out it ain't, and he took out these fake fraudulent government fucking grants he asked me to take out way back then that I would not fucking do. And I'm really fucking glad I didn't. And I pray this motherfucker don't have any of my names, because I found at least 4 or 5 shell companies in his name. Let's start with the phone call to my dad's, one of my dad's active cage code businesses still running today while he's dead. Oh, hold on.
Morning, team.
Yeah,
Morning, team.
who am I speaking with?
Guy Schutzius.
Oh, Guy, this is Crystal. Why are you answering my father's business?
Excuse me?
This is Crystal, Marty's daughter. I called the number that is listed on his business, SGD Building Contractors, Inc., and it comes directly to you. Why are you answering his phone number?
Because he had a business set up with me, Donnie Ryland, and him to go down when the hurricanes happened. Unfortunately, I didn't want to be in business with your dad, because I was many times and it never worked out. So why he got my number attached to that still is because he just never follows through with anything.
Okay, well, I would like my dad's stocks, and I'm going to the U.S. Marshals today. Have a good day. I did turn this information in. I'm sure it's going to take a long time to investigate. I know something's fucking fishy with this shit. There's nothing in my fucking whole life that can tell me there ain't something fucking wrong with this. And when I have cousins that connect to Ben Hill fucking Road, and I know my father's been pushing rugs for years, my whole fucking life across the United States from Miami to fucking California. And then 15 years before he dies, he buys borderland and a business in Mexico. There's something fucking wrong. And I think Don Wells may have owed my fucking father money. I'm not fucking kidding. But let me show you how things like this happen. Let's take a break here. Listen to this case that just happened 2 days ago out of Washington, D.C.
Janine Shapiro, the United States Attorney, And today I'm here to announce and it reflects our commitment to holding accountable those who flood our streets with the poison that has devastated families and neighborhoods. We continue to follow President Trump's executive order to keep DC safe. And we also today are bringing a whole of government partnership dedicated to the elimination of criminal cartels, foreign gangs, transnational criminal organizations, and trafficking rings that are operating in the United States and abroad pursuant to the Homeland Security Task Force initiative created by President Trump. The what? In a 5-count indictment, we have charged 11 defendants in a transnational drug operation, charging conspiracy to distribute methamphetamine, the conspiracy to distribute substances containing methamphetamine and substances containing gamma-butyryl lactone, or GBL, which is commonly abused as a precursor for the sedative GHB. The latter is one of the most pervasive date rape drugs currently available. The indictment also charges 3 of these 11 defendants with money laundering and 1 defendant with 3 counts to commit this distribution of meth here in DC. My office opened this investigation 2 years ago after we learned that DC-based targets were distributing meth and GBL in DC, and that stemmed from information from an overdose death. This indictment follows a long-term, expansive, far-reaching investigation by the DEA and the IRS. Now, historically, my office has worked to target some of the most prolific and dangerous drugs in DC, like fentanyl, cocaine, crack, PCP. However, meth and GBL appear to be emerging threats in the District of Columbia that we hope to eradicate with proactive investigations and indictments like the one today. Meth and GBL are often mixed together as a party drug, and that makes them even more lethal. And CDC research shows that methamphetamine is the second most commonly found drug.
So this is important, but I'm going to comment on the CIA was running the cocaine cowboys. Not really. They infiltrated the cocaine cowboys. I've done a lot of research on this because I've even gone to school with, I think his name's Billy something. I think I was in 3rd grade with him. I can't say for sure. I've asked him. But I lived there when I was in 2nd and 3rd grade. My father lived down there for 30 years. I visited a handful of times, but every time I went down, I spent months at a time. So I was very familiar with the area and what was going on back then. And it was like crazy in Miami. And I was fortunate enough to live right where Griselda Blanco and all of her family members were from and go to school from that area. I lived in Surfside, which is where them buildings fell. And she lived in, well, her son, Michael Corleone, lived at the end of the bridge in these apartment buildings. In Bell Harbor, like across. And then there was, like, our neighbors were involved with shit. There was, I think, I know some other big name ones that were my neighbors, maybe in some hidden secret homes. I don't know this for sure. I was 7 years old. However, I do know the ones I know, and I know that there was a man that ran a limousine company that saved me and my sister's life one time because my dad was doing bad shit, and he took us to his company. And you know what? We're just not even gonna fucking go into it. It's true, but yes, they were whistleblowers is what they were, but they ended up really liking the lifestyle while they were doing it. Michael Franzia or whatever has some really good material, and that Billy Corda. What is his fucking name? I can't remember. I have to look. But we could go over some of that stuff one day because it's fun. But anyways, let's listen to this because what I really want you to listen to is just part up to the shell companies, and then I'm going to go back to what I was covering. But this is what I think could be going on with Ziggy. In my opinion, I'm speculating, of course.
Among individuals who fatally overdose. And GBL is a Schedule 1 narcotic that upon consumption, the body metabolizes into GHB, the date rape drug. Now, we have seized 5,000 pounds of GBL. Each liter of GBL produces up to 1,000 dosages, and each dosage is the size of the cap on a water bottle, resulting in up to 600,000 dosages per monthly shipment of 600 liters, which has a conservative street value of $3 million a month and over $40 million in the 14 months that this indictment covers. We've seized over 75 pounds of methamphetamine, much of it with 90% purity, and this represents 140,000 individual dosages with a street value of over $8.5 million. The how. This investigation is a classic example of vertical prosecution, where investigators start with local distributors and build out the drug trafficking network for maximum impact. You can see from these posters on the left the transportation of the drugs. We identified a drug trafficking network operating through the East Coast, primarily through the Acela corridor from New York City, Philadelphia, Baltimore, and DC. And the GBL itself was moved from South Korea to New York and New Jersey. And then from New York and New Jersey, it came through the Acela corridor to Washington. Now, the flow of meth came from Los Angeles to New York and directly to Washington, D.C. We believe the meth originated in Mexico. So, folks, this was not a low-level drug operation. This was a sophisticated transnational network run by well-educated individuals with MBAs and college degrees. They wanted to start a drug empire. As part of their scheme, the conspiracy set up a several sham shell corporations, both in New York and Washington. And they dedicated and named themselves as a beauty product company so they could more easily import the GBL from South Korea in huge quantities at a rate of 600 liters per month. Several of these defendants actually created fictitious W-2s from the sham companies, withdrawing salaries that were never paid and allowing the corporation to actually take tax deductions and the co-conspirators to reflect income that was never received for loan purposes. And as you can see over here, the GLB is a liquid. This is what was seized in Seoul, South Korea. And we also have GLB that was seized at JFK. And they are wrapped to look as though they are beauty products, which of course they were not. Now, as a result of the takedown, GLB is a liquid. And there was a woman by the name of Soyeon An who was sending GLB throughout the world, including Australia, Europe, and the United States. She is now being housed by the South Korean government in their prison facility.
So she goes into further detail, and I'm losing interest. People don't want to hear this shit. They want to hear about Summer. However, I do think this is something that could be going on in Summer's area, in case I'm not talking about the GBL or North Korea, or I'm talking about how something would be run. There's a lot more to this. This is the link. I'm not going to go over the whole thing right now. However, I do plan on coming back and just replaying it with you guys and not really being on panel, but chatting in the chat with you while we listen, because I think this is interesting. And she goes really deep into the shell companies and how they operate because somebody asks her a question. However, this is an hour and a half long, so I'm sure I don't want to sit here for an hour and a half and listen to this, or maybe I'll come back, but we'll see. Here's the link. Please go watch this. I also put it in my community post. It'll explain the shell company part, which is what I really want you to pay attention to. Okay. Okay, we're going to go back to Karen because we're only 31 minutes in.
This whole time, Fred didn't come into the house to see what was going on while Julie was there at 4 o'clock, 4:30 in the morning.
Was he there all night?
I don't know.
Was he there when she found him?
He was there when Julie got there and found Mom.
Was Laura there too?
She was not there at that time. Julie said she did not see Laura at that
She
time.
wasn't there the night before either? She wasn't there at any point during the...
Laura was on camera before midnight.
Okay.
But Laura wasn't there when Julie got there after 4.
So she was there before midnight,
Yeah.
not there at 4 o'clock?
No.
Fred was...
And Fred was out in the driveway next to the barn doing something.
Sorry to keep asking this, but Fred was there before midnight. The camera was there at midnight, so
I don't know if Fred was, but Laura was on
at
camera.
least Laura was on camera. Fred may or may not have been there,
I don't know.
but Fred was there at 4 a.m. when she got there.
When Julie couldn't see Mom on the camera at 4 a.m. and she went there, I'm sure it took her 15, 20 minutes to get there. Fred was there at the house, outside.
Outside.
Yeah.
While his mother is on the floor, he's outside, just doing work.
Doing whatever. I don't know what he was doing. Doing Fred stuff. She calls the ambulance, calls 911, and she's working with Mom trying to...
At that point, she'd already pulled her back on the bed and was trying to work on her. Okay.
It took, she said, I think Julie said it took the ambulance about 45 minutes to get there. When they came in, they started working with Mom, putting oxygen and monitors and everything on her. They had been there 15, 20 minutes, and a second responder vehicle pulled up.
Okay.
It's like one of the rescue trucks or something, what we always call a crash truck. And they came in, and at that point is when Fred came in the house, and Julie said, he said, well, what's going on? I've been here all evening. What's wrong with her?
So he said he's been there either, though.
He said, I've been here all night. What's wrong with her? I guess Julie told him what was going on, that she found Mom laying in the floor unconscious. They worked on her. They intubated her. They transported her to the hospital. Julie calls me 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. Said, the ambulance is on the way to the hospital. Is there any way you can meet them there? I'm going to swing by the house and get me some clothes on. I guess she just had her pajamas, house shoes, and I will meet you there later. And get to the hospital.
What is it? Question, because think about it, we don't know exactly what 2 unalivings Fred was being questioned for when he took his lie detector test. They only showed us Cotton Simpson. Nobody's been charged for Summer. Is Fred being investigated for the unaliving of his mother? What does her autopsy say? I would like Karen Elliot to show us an autopsy and see if her death is being investigated. I mean, these are huge accusations to say that Laura was there and then Mom was on the floor and then Fred said I was there all night, and Fred did admit to being there. Fred even told me in one of my chats I was there. Laura was not. So it is hearsay. However, we do know fact he was being questioned for 2 unalivings. I agree too. Julie needs to come out and speak. Since all the other ones are out here and they have so much to say about them and the friendships have changed and Julie was originally the bad sister, but now she's the good sister. I mean, this is confusing to me. I'd like to hear from all 3 of them. Wouldn't it be cool to get all 3 of them on one panel? They're siblings. I don't know.
Julie doesn't show up, but she's messaging me on the phone telling me that Fred's broke into the house and is walking around with a trash bag picking up certain things. She said he emptied Mom's trash can beside her bed.
Why would she say broken into the house?
Because the doors were locked and he didn't have a key.
So that's not where he was staying normally?
No, he was still living at the camper.
So he actually broke in and she said she saw him actually doing this?
Yeah, she sent me screenshots of it.
Just picking up random stuff?
He had a black trash bag. I seen him on the screenshot. He had a black trash bag, and he was just picking up. He wasn't cleaning the house. He was just picking up random stuff.
If she caught it on my camera, that means that would have been the living room where she passed.
Yeah.
Can we talk a little bit more about the scene where she passed? Because some things you just said, I got to ask.
Okay.
What's the thing with the pliers on?
I have no idea.
Were they ever there before?
When Julie went back down there afterwards, she said they were gone. No, they were never there before.
What about the knife that was on the bed?
Don't know where it came from or where it went to.
Was it ever found after that? Never seen again?
Not that I know of.
She saw the knife on the...
She did.
So I'm assuming you consider this whole situation suspicious.
I consider it very suspicious because after I got to the hospital and they were assessing mom, doing tests, doing scans, x-rays, mom had a broken foot. She had a fractured arm. Her whole arm was black. She had different various bruises, which she did bruise easy, but not like that. And she had swelling of the brain and fluid on the brain.
Had she ever had any of those types of symptoms in the past with her brain?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay.
So that's some serious accusations. She's really standing out and saying, listen, I really want my mom's unaliving investigated. I wonder, is it being investigated? Who was next of kin? Not that I want to see her death report, but I know on a death certificate it'll say, like, is a police officer taking over? Is it being investigated? They'll write up a police report. Are you able to get that and let us know? Was there an investigation done? Did you tell the police about this? I mean, she did tell me about this too, but again, not in this much detail. And it's in that video. Oh yeah, that's what we were watching. Let's go back to that a minute. We want to hear that.
So not today is not going to tell, but can you not tell us? You can't tell us if he passed or failed? Okay, I'm just going to have to assume that he failed if she's not going to say it. I can't believe that he would, but I don't believe he would fail. But I think if you have that...
A liar.
Huh?
She ain't nothing but a liar.
She isn't? Is that what you said?
Yes.
Does she lie like
You
that?
gotta take everything she says with a grain of salt because she does it to get attention.
Okay. Who do you think, which one do you think it is?
Karen.
Okay.
Loudmouth.
Well, is she close to Fred at all? Like, or do they not get along?
No, she ain't done nothing but try to. I don't know. She acts like she hates him.
Okay.
She
Yeah,
told me she was going to do him the same way he done her when she was in prison. That she was going to let him sit in there and not talk to him or nothing, like he did her.
That's true. We would need to know the questions asked too, Jeb. That's true. But I would want to see the report also because not that I'm trying to say anybody would lie or anything like that.
Fred's not even been to court yet. How did he get a motion to discover it?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying anything against him. I'm just saying that it's more like somebody's just putting shit out there. Speculating. Or assuming one. And you know what assume means, don't you?
Right. Well, not today. If anybody wants to help her, I mean, she is in a bad spot right now. And it's not like she couldn't use the help if people, it's not like we're like bailing her out of jail or anything. If people want to help.
Well, I was in jail. Somebody stole my purse. They stole everything I own. They stole both of our cards and and emptied our bank accounts. And I'm fighting that right now.
So was your place open? Did they go into your place and steal your stuff, or how did that happen? Where was the stuff to get stolen at?
My purse was with the people that I was with when I went to jail.
Oh, copy of your motion of discovery. But Fred's not going to know how to do all that. To request a copy of his motion of discovery and stuff like that. How would he? Fred is very.
Unless he's got a lawyer. He didn't get no motion of discovery yet.
Let me look here who it says is. Let me look up what it says under his charges right now.
I can't deal with stupidity.
So
I'm
it doesn't.
sorry, Ziggy.
Huh?
I said I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. I appreciate you doing this. It's gonna help a lot, and it would really help if his sister has a copy of the lie detector test to show it to everybody. No matter, because people are gonna automatically assume if you act like that. Now, and it makes sense too. If his sister wants to make him look bad, then I don't know. So right now it shows that his hearing date, his trial, isn't till October 11th at 9 a.m. And I don't even see. It doesn't have anything. I'm trying to look to see if I can see it like a lawyer or anybody. Office of the Public Defender. Oh, okay, it just says Attorney Public Defender. That's it. So, yeah. Hawkins County, well, actually, Tennessee's court system, online court system information is so crappy. Like, they don't put anything on there. Hey, Mimi up 6. I don't know. Law enforcement. No, I don't think law enforcement would release lie detector tests.
It's Hopkins County. I'm sorry, but that's all you need to know.
Yeah.
It speaks for itself. I hate this place. I hate it with passion.
Oh, do you know who took your money?
Yes, I know who took my money.
Was it somebody that was supposed to help you that ended up screwing you over instead?
Yep.
Okay. Because that's what somebody was saying, that Not Today account. Well, I mean, that's too bad. I wish
They overheard a conversation when I was on the phone with the bondsman.
Huh.
And they sent a message to their brother
wow.
to go pick up my purse in Light Holler that I sent him and take it to a bondsman, which was bullshit. The bondsman was supposed to go get my purse.
I don't think Fred is dumb at all, actually. I think he's somebody's saying, his sister's saying that we act like he's dumb, but Fred's very intelligent. He knows exactly what to do. I don't think he's when it comes to technology, like he's good at mechanic stuff. Like,
Nobody said he was dumb.
Well, I think she was replying to me when I said, like, how would he file for a motion of discovery? I just don't know how he would know how to do that.
Unless somebody told him in there, or he talked to a lawyer, he didn't get no motion of discovery. And she can say what she wants. But I wasn't born last night.
Yeah, too bad you guys aren't married, because maybe you could get some, I don't know, maybe you could get some information.
I don't want nothing. I don't want it. They can have it.
Yeah, it's probably best that you not know. The less you know, the better, probably.
Yep. I hope they kill each other over that shit down there. Be doing the world a favor.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Fred's the best one out of all of them. The other ones is just greedy bitches.
Oh gosh. If she talks about her story about the kid, her kids, she'll get crying and stuff. She's talked about what happened with the kids, and it's kind of
if it happened, how they're saying it's bullshit because the kids weren't even there during the incident. And I guess, yeah, I'm from what I hear, the family didn't make it very much easier on Fred and Laura. It made things a lot worse.
They've always made things worse because they stick their nose where it don't belong.
Yeah.
My family ain't no better.
You guys have two biological kids together, right? And then
Yes.
They also have grandchildren. Both Laura's daughter has children, and so does Fred's daughter. Just recently had a baby. They have grandchildren together. These people are old enough to be grandparents, and look at how they're out here playing games. She goes on something Andy Paul. We got to go over that too. Ziggy was talking about Andy Paul. Others were. I got to find what I was watching. I want to go over that as well. Eventually, soon. Here.
pretty much adopted your oldest girl, right?
Yeah.
Or
I adopt pretty much help raise his own daughter.
yeah.
I can't say I adopted her, but I love her like she's mine. And me and her have got back in contact with each other here lately, and I love her. She's the sweetest youngin' ever was.
Oh, that's so cute. Oh, how old is she?
I think she's 26.
So are you?
Chastity is a great person. She's a very good person, and she don't deserve to be dragged through the mud, and I won't allow it.
Who, your oldest child? Is that what you're saying?
I'm talking about Fred's oldest daughter.
Oh, so it's not your daughter. Wait.
No, my oldest daughter's Destiny.
So who's his oldest? He has another kid with somebody else?
Yes, Chastity.
Is that
Her
with
name's Chastity.
Is that with his ex-wife?
Yes.
What? Her name was Christina, right?
Chastity. Her name's Chastity.
No, the ex-wife.
Tina.
And some of the messages I couldn't find between me and Karen, and I'm still looking for them. Some of them, Karen Elliot told me that Fred had a Habitat for Humanity home with Christina. I want to know why. Fred, why did you have a Habitat for Humanity home? You're a meth dealer. Like, how do you lose that? What happened? There's a disconnect. How do you go from somebody who needs a Habitat for Humanity home to somebody in prison for trying to pew in a home with your children? How do you go about getting a Habitat for Humanity home? You don't have cancer. I'm so very confused. But okay. Scam? Did you scam them?
Tina?
Mm-hmm.
But it's like it was all over again, like the first time when he went last time to Jelly. His sisters is taking over, and he's pretty much just saying, I'm running off to Virginia.
I reckon JL actually found the devices and showed his mom.
Who is it?
JL was Fred's uncle.
And that's not, so it's a different uncle than Ronald?
Ronald was Fred's dad.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And you couldn't have met a better person.
Really?
Yes, he was a good man.
Aw.
I'll never say anything bad about that man. He was good to me. Now, his mother was a different story altogether.
Yeah, I've heard from you guys, like, and Fred felt bad, when she passed and stuff, because, like, he seemed to feel bad anyways, like he didn't want to think badly about his mother, but he knows that she's, like, done him wrong. So I could tell he's torn.
Yeah, I know what made him feel bad, but in a way, I kind of think he washed his hands with her long before it happened, because of a couple of days after Fred's dad died, his mom looked at him and told him to go in there and get that strychnine out of the bedroom. So that made Fred feel like that they done something to his dad.
Wow. Yeah, I've heard that story.
Here we go. This is what we're listening for, and then we can go back to Karen Elliot. So first, Laura accuses them of strychnining Dad. Then they'll go on, and Karen will talk about what she just told Ryan about. This is when she accuses Laura. I want you to watch Laura's reaction, because to me, it's not what I would think a reaction after being accused of killing your mother-in-law would be. But I don't know.
A few times, so about some strychnine. You know, somebody's spreading rumors about you, and probably, I don't know who. I would guess the sisters. I don't know where it came from, but somebody was trying to implicate you in her passing. They came up with like some. Huh? Uh-oh.
Sorry,
Can
my
you hear
earbud died on me.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. Did you hear what I said about? I had somebody in my chat trying to basically accuse you. Not today. It's been a while. They were basically trying to accuse you of doing something to her to cause her death.
That was Julie.
And Fred said that you weren't even there, that he was.
Yeah. Pretty much. I didn't do nothing to that woman but try to take care of her.
Yeah. All right. Any last questions, guys? I have at the camper, guys, because it's just too much drama. Too much problems. She can't even relax out there without having to worry about people giving her issues.
I wasn't there 5 minutes the other day, and I was told to leave and not come back.
Very short reaction to that. Let's go watch it again.
Found the devices and showed his mom.
Who is it?
Gail was Fred's uncle.
And that's not, so it's a different uncle than Ronald?
Ronald was Fred's dad.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And you couldn't have met a better person.
Really?
Yes, he was a good man.
Aww.
I'll never say anything bad about that man. He was good to me. Now, his mother was a different story altogether.
Yeah, I've heard from you guys, like, and Fred felt bad, you know, when she passed and stuff, because, like, he seemed to feel bad anyways, like he didn't want to think badly about his mother, but he knows that she's, like, done him wrong. So I could tell he's torn.
Yeah, I know what made him feel bad, but in a way, I kind of think he washed his hands with her long before it happened, because of a couple of days after Fred's dad died, his mom looked at him and told him to go in there and get that strychnine out of the bedroom. So that made Fred feel like that they done something to his dad.
Wow. Yeah, I've heard that story a few times, so about some strychnine. You know, somebody's spreading rumors about you and probably, I don't know who. I would guess the sisters. I don't know where it came from, but somebody was trying to implicate you in her passing. They came up with like some, huh? Uh-oh.
Sorry,
Can you
my
hear
earbud died on me.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. Did you hear what I said about? I had somebody in my chat trying to basically accuse you. Not today. It's been a while. They were basically trying to accuse you of doing something to her to cause her death.
That was Julie.
And Fred said that you weren't even there, that he was.
Yeah. Pretty much. I didn't do nothing to that woman but try to take care of her.
Yeah. All right. Any last questions, guys? I have a at the camper, guys, because it's just too much drama.
There's a little more to this. I'm going to let you finish it out. It's only a few more minutes. We might as well finish it. But you see her reaction? Just, yeah, all the shit she's talking on the sisters, this huge accusation comes out. She tells us there's a motive. Fred believes that mom did something to dad. We know they don't live together. We know there was a lot of fights between the two over property and things like that. Right, she doesn't seem offended by the accusation. It's crazy. And I will when I get a chance, Kylie. I'll slow it down and see.
Too much
We got about 12 minutes left. I'm going to come down and just let you listen to the rest of this.
problems. She can't even relax out there without having to worry about people giving her issues.
I wasn't there 5 minutes the other day, and I was told to leave and not come back. That I couldn't come back. That if I wanted anything to get it in.
So they were there? The sisters were there when you were there? What are they doing? They're probably staying down at
They're living in the trailer now.
Really?
Like I said, it was all set up.
So after Laura and Fred go to jail, the sisters move into the parents' homes and their trailers and the land. Before the land, I believe, was taken from them, they all ended up owing money. I don't know. Karen maybe got something. I'm not sure what it was. That's not my business. I don't get into the financials, but I do know that there is a land fight, just like with Jody Sue, over the land that's going on. And I do know, I think that all of the land, most of the land on Ben Hill Road besides Redmond is Morlock Farms Trust. So it's like a family trust that has to be passed down from one to another or something. I don't know how that goes. If anybody knows how that works, I would love to get somebody on panel that's educated in that. It might help us understand a little more about the land in that area and why they all fight over it. I don't know.
And I hope Fred's not just blind.
It says all your clothes and all my mother's and father's stuff is in that car that you packed up that got repossessed.
Oh, yeah. It sure is.
That's what she said.
Okay.
She's not the camper because that would be trespassing. How would that be trespassing? She has residency, or she's
20 years there.
You'd have to evict her. She's lived there for years. You can't do that. That's not how it works. You'd have to go through a process of evicting her.
I left because I wanted to leave.
Well, they're just going to make your life hell. So
yeah,
the way it sounds. And I'm not
dirty bitches.
I'm not trying to be mean or anything. I've never talked to them, but I can tell. I mean, you're already in a bad enough spot. Like, I don't know why they have to make things worse. It's just that camper. The camper's not worth anything.
Control.
even that area, even that property down there. I mean, it's not. I don't know. I don't see
It was supposed to have been Fred's, but
you know that Fred would want her staying down there, so I don't understand why you want to just allow her to stay down there and let her be at the camper. I don't get it.
because she's got to have somewhere to put her boys. Truth hurts.
They abandoned that property to squat on my father's property.
Mm-hmm.
Who's her father's property? Which one is she talking about with father's property?
Ronald's property. Where the camp
Down
trailer is.
Oh, the 167.
Yeah, just like I destroyed it.
How do you? I don't know.
I didn't destroy it, and that's the Hawkins County law that I give the keys to.
Does Fred's sisters work? Do they work?
What?
Does Fred's sisters work?
One of them does.
So Karen works. Karen did at one time, I don't know when, work at the AmeriCorps where Layla went missing from. She's very well intertwined with that, and it still worries me that she brings up Layla's name with clothing. We didn't finish Ryan's interview. I hope we get to hear that again because that's odd to me. Yes, lots of rooster fighting in the area, lots of dog fighting. I have videos about it on my channel, not in my lives, but in the videos. Go through them. You'll see it. Math making other missing little girls, things of that nature. Jody, Sue, and Fred have spoken about meth monkeys. I mean, the list goes on and on. David Bay's dog fighting, the dog Ella that Jody and Andy took and fought over for a while, but went out of state to get shots. Oh, we're about to go over some Karen Renfro shit soon. I might have to come back later tonight with some more content to do that. Because hubby's going to be getting, we'll see how far we go. What time is it? He's going to be getting off work. I have about another half hour. And I'm not done. I want to finish these interviews. I didn't even finish Glenda's yet. Like, we have a lot. I can bring all this up for the next, I'll be live again today at some point.
Karen does. I reckon. Works her mouth, I know that. Good at that. Causing fucking mayhem everywhere she goes.
Well,
You there?
but you gotta understand that also that she's been with Fred for like a long time, and I don't know. I'm sorry that this is happening. This sucks. Oh, she dropped. I am gonna have to go soon. Well, but wouldn't she have to be evicted though? Not today. They can't just like be like, oh, you have to go. It's actually a process. She would at least have a couple months. I would think you guys would give her that. I mean, with everything going on, I understand you guys don't get along and stuff, and I'm sure you have your reasons. I'm sure you do. I haven't talked to you guys, so I don't know your side and stuff. But from what I've seen, I think Fred seems like a really good person. And, you know, Laura, same with her. I haven't noticed her. She's been pretty straight up and honest with me from, you know, what I can verify. Can you please let us know, do you really have proof of his lie detector test? Do you know who Dennis Roberts is? That's who they're saying has the Chihuahua, supposedly.
No, I don't know who that is.
says, to the best of my knowledge, Dennis Roberts was taking care of the Chihuahua.
Well, there's two chihuahuas. I had a Tweenie and a Chihuahua.
Yeah, well, she said it plural. I've only seen, you had two of them?
Yeah, I had a little boy too. I just got him.
She
I
doesn't look
appreciate it.
actually, I don't think she's high right now at all. I don't think Laura's high at all. Oh my God.
I'm nervous. I'm biting my lip.
No, it's one of the sisters saying that you're high right now.
I don't care what they say. They can kiss my
I think you
ass.
look good, actually.
We could just end this here. I'm going to go back to Karen. I'm going back to this comment. There we go. Bye, Felicia. 2026. Bye. Ryan has the right to like everyone else. It's called fair use. He can talk to whomever. And I have the right to dislike whoever I want. It's called fair use. And I have also spoken to these people. That's what I'm showing you. As for the people you're talking about, Karen R. was treated like trash. That's not true, and I can show you that. She wasn't treated like trash by me. She's never been brought out public, except for by me. She liked my rooster video. I have proof of that. I'm about to show you that in a little bit or today at some point. Her and I have had conversations. Oh, and I think I am related to her by marriage. So, bye, Felicia. Fuck off. I met Karen as a child. I have other things she said, such as Jennifer Satterfield being knocked in the head. What I'm showing you is important to Summer's case and other cases in the area. I'm not sitting here trashing nobody. I'm giving fair commentary. I'm telling you things I like and things I don't. And I think you're just a troll that got to come over here and try to start shit because you don't know how to sit down and absorb things in your little mind. One more comment like that and I'm booting you. Have a nice day. You're welcome to stay if you can be nice. I missed a bunch of comments. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, we are ending that there. Let's go back to Karen Hill. I've read her text messages at the beginning of the live. Please go back and read and see them. I've gone over the video with, I have a 6-minute video, but we'll watch her a little bit longer and then we'll watch the 6-minute family video.
I got to the hospital and after they got her in her room, and I think it was like the next day, and they were giving me a rundown of all of her general medical condition, everything that was going on with her. I requested to talk to Adult Protective Services. I talked to her caregivers. I talked to her. So when you go in with her at that time, she had been on hospice care, and she had a social worker through the hospital that handled her case because of the hospice.
Okay.
I spoke with them. I told them all of my concerns, everything that happened, how she was found, all of my suspicions, and nobody did nothing.
They didn't take
They didn't take it seriously.
really.
And it really upset me that they didn't take it seriously. And me talking to her hospice nurse and her supervisor. And that's when they informed me that if and when Mom did get out of the hospital, they were dropping her as a patient because it was not safe for them to come to her home because of the drug activity, the drug traffic, and the drug paraphernalia being left in the house, and how Fred treated them when they were there.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So they considered it an unsafe environment.
For even them, yeah.
Have you ever called the authorities and just reported this whole scenario?
No, I haven't.
Why?
I guess I got discouraged with how the hospital acted toward me trying to get answers for mom.
Dismissive?
Very dismissive.
Okay.
They didn't want to deal with it.
They went, and they didn't want to. Obviously, they weren't suspicious enough to report it.
Apparently not, and I was specifically asking for adult protective services to be brought in.
Only the paramedics had gone and examined. There at the, I'm going to call it a crime scene. It sounds like a crime scene to me.
It does me too.
Police never went in the house to examine anything.
No.
That's just wild.
No.
And the bag that he was walking around with, putting stuff in, she never found it. Julie never found it. You never found it.
No.
Okay.
I don't know what he took, why he took it.
We're going to move on to another topic, or other topics. Is it true you were told about a book bag being found by a friend at some point?
A backpack.
Okay. Where
Yeah.
was that?
That was about 5 days after Summer had gone missing. They had opened the holler back up for traffic to come and go without checking vehicles or anything. And I had wrote Julia needed to take Mom some groceries and stuff. And
Fred has always said there was a backpack of meth making materials. That was one backpack. Karen has said there was a backpack with meth making materials. At one point, I think she may have said there was a backpack with clothes. Don't quote me. I could be wrong. It could have been something else. She said clothes fell out of a ceiling and were in a bag in the bathroom in Mom's house that were muddy, or in a washing machine. There's been several. I have the clips. We can go over them. But here's what I'm going to say to that last comment that who left. Where'd it go? Bye, Felicia. No, Ryan isn't an agent. I wait for the TBI, Hawkins County, or the FBI to come out and give us true answers for Summer. Nothing I say, nothing Nana for Life says, nothing Ryan says, nothing Squall says, nothing Jody Sue says, nothing anybody says is real until the TBI, LE, and the FBI comes out and says it. Until then, I am allowed to have an opinion on other people's commentary, especially when they are named in news broadcasts as neighbors or all named as suspects in the Summer Wells case. Karen Elliot is a neighbor. Her parents were neighbors at the time. Her brother was a neighbor at the time. And her sister Julie and her niece were on the road the day Summer went missing. Even seeing a telephone pole being hit in some sort of accident where the guide wire came down. She spoke about that in my chats and everywhere else. Karen has been out here for a very long time. These are not her first interviews. She's been in chats. She's been on 6-Ups. She's talked to people on Messenger pretty much since the beginning of Summer's case. She's not new to Summer's case, and this is not new information. I've been a creator for 4.5 years, and I've spoken to Karen for 2 or 3 of those 4.5 years prior to all of this. It is a witch hunt filled with accusation and lies. However, it's also Ryan doing the same thing. Nobody's doing any different than the other. People just don't agree with some people's commentary, and people find people more sus than others. No, I'm not saying I think Karen Elliot took Summer Wells or Karen Renfro, but I think somebody knows who did, and I don't know who that somebody is. And I know people keep secrets in that area, and they lie, and they host people like 6-Up at their house, and they say Laura, they don't say nothing about Laura when they go on Ryan's, is they trash Fred and don't tell them how close they really are to these people or their own criminal past or the things they've done in a neighborhood. Like there's a woman, Crystal Spencer's mom, who accuses Glenda Head of stealing $9,000 of gas over a 3 or 4 month period. I shared that yesterday. Just because you like Ryan doesn't mean you have to believe the people that come out here and talk. They also have extensive criminal backgrounds. I'm not saying they did anything, but I'm not saying they're not suspects, and I'm not saying that the police and the news haven't named all neighbors. Everybody is a suspect in the Summer Wells case. So, as a creator, I'm going over the commentary that Ryan put out because Ryan wants us to believe these people are not suspects. I'm giving you my opinion based on the fact that I have also spoken to this woman privately. But you have a good day. Bye, Felicia.
I had rode down there with her to help her. And when we got up there, we unloaded everything. Mom wanted me and Julie to ride up Fred's and check her mailbox and just see how Fred was, see if Fred was there, see how he was.
When was this?
5 days after Summer went
Just
missing.
5 days after Summer went missing. Okay.
And so we ride up there. Of course, we pull up to the camper before we check the mailbox because we wanted him to know who we were and why we were there because it was getting dark.
Okay.
And me and Julie both were standing in the driveway, and Fred was standing there talking to us, and he was very concerned and worried, felt like he was being set up. He said that he had found a backpack at the top of his driveway, I guess on up from where we parked, that had, he said,
Real quick, I wanted to say something. Jody's been talking about this backpack too. I'm trying to smoke his joint. It keeps fucking going out. But there's a video clip I'm looking for, and if anybody has it and wants to shoot it to me or tell me where it's at, I know I have it, but I have like hundreds of videos of Jody Sue's. There is a video clip where Jody Sue talks about her and Andy went to Chimney Top Loop and found a brown backpack, and it had something in it, and she took it to the command station down on Beach Creek at the church. I would like Jody Sue to elaborate on that backpack they found on Chimney Top Loop. But I'm going to find that clip one day and bring it out just like I found the messages I'm going over one day. Okay.
drug making paraphernalia in it. I don't know what that means.
Did you see the book bag? Did he show it to you?
No.
Or the backpack?
No.
He just told you what was in it.
He just said that he had found that, and I said I just made the comment, well, I hope he just turned it over to the police then. And I don't remember what he said about that.
Did he found it outside or in the house?
It was outside in the driveway.
In the drive. It's like somebody had dropped it.
Like somebody had just set it up there or something. He said it didn't belong to him, and he didn't understand where it came from.
Okay.
And he also mentioned that he found some little girl's clothes in an old washing machine outside on the property somewhere, and he felt like somebody had put them there. And again,
my question would be, Chad Arnold was on the land that day and seen Candace there. So was it Chad or Candace? He doesn't understand how they got there. Well, who was all on your property that day, Fred? That's important if you didn't do nothing this summer. Who all entered your property? We have Laura, Chad, Candace, you. You said you seen Dawn at 8:15 in the morning driving past his driveway. He had the boys in the car. Who was at your house when you left? Was it occupied by anybody? What time exactly did Chad get there? We have a lot of questions. You do place other people up on your property.
and I said, well, I hope you told somebody. I hope you turned it in or whatever. And I don't know if he did.
Have you seen the clothes that you
No.
talking about? Okay, he just claimed he found little girl's clothes in the washing machine outside. So 5 days after Summer disappeared, he's claiming people are trying to set him up, and he's finding things on the property. Did your father at any point in their past, were they into drugs? Did they sell drugs at any point?
Not in the capacity that Fred wants people to think.
Okay.
They had chronic illnesses with chronic pain, and they did go. Their family doctor had them going to a pain management doctor.
Okay.
So they were prescribed pain medication on a monthly basis and had been for several years. They did sell pills, but it wasn't an operation. It wasn't, a drive-through service, or, they wasn't getting their.
Jesus, I was having a hard time typing that. No, Dawn strangely drove. I fucked that all up. Dawn strangely drove to Chimney Top Loop, Kylie. Cher asked him to show his trip home, and he showed a trip to Chimney Top Loop instead. I've gone over it a million times. We could do that another day too. But Tim Mullen also, in his series of videos on how he met the Wills and how he got involved in the case, also talks about Chimney Top Loop a whole hell of a lot. So I think those are two things that you need to listen to. And then Jody says, I found a backpack on Chimney Top Loop. The thing that strikes me as odd is Chimney Top Loop is miles away. Why is that where Jody and Dawn are going? And then Chad Nesbitt from Skyline News shows a black Ford Ranger up there, and then he says it's the same truck or something. TT talks about it in our messages that was seen from satellite all the way from fucking space. Right? Like all this crazy shit. All the shit I try to connect, but it's just so much. It's hard. Like I'm hoping somebody else will grasp it and start following it with me and showing it, because I've talked to several people, several different things, and to put it all together for you, I try the best I can. And it gets confusing if you're not really following. But all these people talked about all this shit, like this black fucking truck, and now you see there's more coming out. She's talking about, or Laura stole the black truck in the messages I showed with Karen Elliot at the beginning of my live. Jeremy Pill came out saying that his sister, or his wife and her sister, seen Fred coming out from, or seen somebody coming out from Ben Hill Road in a black Ford Ranger around the time Summer would have went missing. Right?
Their whole going to getting prescriptions, pain prescriptions filled, and selling them as quick as they got them or anything like that. They would sell a few here and there to get money. And is basically, they both drew Social Security. Dad did not have a retirement fund. He didn't have money in the bank. They had nothing to fall back on. If anything happened, there was no reserve.
You grew up there.
So she's saying the end of their life, they had some pain pills and Dad would sell them. They didn't have pain pills forever. We've heard in the past Jody talk about them being drug dealers. I have a video made on that too. Like I said, I've gone over all this stuff, right? Her mom and her dad sold rugs. Trial junkie. This is fact. Fred even told a story one time, I have to find a clip, where he said he used to go to school and sell rugs for his dad. His daughter, Chastity, got busted in Virginia selling rugs at school, just like Dad, that Grandpa taught. And that's why they came to take Fred's kids, and Fred pulled the pew out and went to jail. It's all true. Yeah, justifying it. Oh, a few here and there, they lived on Social Security, but for how long, Karen? It's a family business, and it wasn't just pills. Fred's the meth man, and he has meth-making materials. Or Chad. Chad's drunk all the time with Bill Benton. Linda said that, the owner of Beach Creek Market, Crystal Spencer's mom, who Dawn had an affair with. Although I'm not looking at it as an affair standpoint, I'm looking at it as she gave me information about people in the area, and she would know because she owned the biggest convenience store there that everybody actually used to love until people ruined it by stealing $9,000 worth of gas from her and killing her dog and, rugging her daughter, making her an addict and all kinds of crazy shit. Yeah. Land rich, and their land makes them money, in my opinion, doing all sorts of things, illegal things. It's in the sticks. Nobody knows what they do, and Lawson doesn't. I'm going to show you something Karen Renfro said. We'll talk about that later. I've never heard of that name, Kylie. Not at all. Okay, so let's finish. Let's get a little further here.
Yeah.
The three of you,
Mhm.
sister, brother.
Mm-hmm.
So you witnessed a lot of this, right? I mean,
Mhm.
okay, so this is firsthand.
Yeah.
Okay.
As adults, you know, me and Julie, we got married, had jobs, yada yada. Fred got married, had a kid, had a job for a very short period of time, but then after that, you know, in his early 20s, he did odd jobs. He didn't work an actual tax paying job. He would do
No amounts. That's not it. Let me tell you the story. That's when I was talking to Karen often. Um, Fred had gone on Ziggy's and said Ronald Hill wasn't his father. And Karen was coming in the chats and being petty back with Fred. They were arguing back and forth. And she was saying, well, if that ain't his father, you don't have a right to know land or nothing he left you or nothing this or nothing that. And she was leaving me messages like that too. But like I said, I lost a lot of them. They're popping up here and there. I will eventually find them all. I promise. If I don't, I don't know. I could show you what I show you and you can believe me or not believe me. Karen can deny what I'm saying. I don't fucking care. Or she can elaborate. I have no reason to lie about the things she said. And that wasn't a big deal. She was really offended by the fact that Fred said that Ronald Hill was not his father. She didn't say one of the sisters. That's not. I'm out. That's wrong. Meaning only asset, no cash, just land. Is Ziggy a gold digger? Oh, absolutely. I mean, I don't think she's a gold digger. I think she works for the same organization and they all knew each other behind the scenes way prior. That's just my opinion. I'm speculating. I think a lot of this is fake to cover up their YouTube crimes now. I think they're in a lot of trouble. I think it's more than just Summer going missing. I think there was money in a chase and psychics and a lot of other people that came in and laundered money. I think Ziggy possibly could have been doing that based off of the way she acts. That's just my opinion. I'm speculating based off the fact she was neighbors with my dad. And I know that's what my dad did with these shell companies I was talking about earlier. I shared earlier in my live. But whatever, y'all gotta follow. I can't go over it every day. I'll be here forever, every single day until people get it. You gotta figure it out. I did a really good live. It has Shipley in the name. It explains a lot of my family dynamics and how I'm positive. I'm connected to people in that area. I know for a fact my aunts in Moorlock and in Elliot.
odd jobs.
And I know for a fact I met Karen Elliot when I was about 7 years old.
He would shoe horses. He would do this. He would do that. But, you know, nothing that would pay a bill that was to support habit.
What was his one job?
The one time that I knew that he did work a tax-paying job, he was a heavy equipment operator.
Okay. For a construction company or?
Yeah.
Okay. And you did that for how long?
A couple of years, I'm thinking.
That was his only job ever?
To the best of my knowledge, that was his only tax-paying job that he's ever had.
Did he ever do any other work for a company or a organization or for the town or for?
No, I mean, like I said, he had odd jobs. He would shoe horses. You know, if somebody needed mowing or weed eating done, you know, he would do that. I remember, oh, it's been a few decades ago, he worked at the Staples at Warriors Path.
Was it a paycheck type job or just odd job?
Oh, that was an odd job. That was an under the table odd job.
Okay.
I mean, it's just a lot of different. But it wasn't an operation. It wasn't, you know, a drive-through service or
Town or for?
No, I mean, like I said, he had odd jobs. He would shoe horses. You know, if somebody needed mowing or weed eating done, you know, he would do that. I remember, oh, it's been a few decades ago, he worked at the Staples at Warriors Path.
an early morning fire at the Warriors Path riding stables.
Ben Wexler, Warriors Path VFD chief, says crews were dispatched a little before 5:30 a.m. to the lower horse stables. He tells us when crews arrived, the fire fully involved the building, with it being mostly burnt up. The stables were empty and no animals were harmed. The cause is still under investigation.
JLR did an interview at the horse stables. I have it. It's something we'll go over again another day. Fred would know the in and outs. Cotton Simpson also worked at the horse stables. Long term, years and years and years. So what Karen just told us is that there is a possibility. Fred told us many times he just met Cotton. Cotton was a staple at Warriors Path horse stables. These horse stables burnt down right at the time of Summer's, what was it, second or third missing day. They were getting ready to do a celebration there for Summer, and the stables burnt down. Fred really did have a big addiction with horses. I need to go over that with you guys again one day. I have some videos and content on it. Please check it out until I do. There was a horse Fred said they asked him about that was unshoed. Squall came out accusing a light of searching on horseback for Summer. Fred saying a light or somebody had a horse that was unshoed. And TT came from another county on horseback, and the very second Summer went missing to search for Summer, and I'd like to know, was her horse shoed? Fred should ask her that and send it to the TBI, or the TBI should ask her that. I don't know. There's a lot. David Bay's unalived some horses. Some horses were given to them. The horse that came out behind the news. I mean, I just see a lot about horses in this, and it's just weird to me. I don't know.
Paycheck type job or just odd job?
Oh, that was an odd job. That was an under the table odd job.
Okay.
I mean, it's just a lot of different odd jobs. He was all, which eventually turned into scrapping and, getting junk and hauling it to the scrap yards and to make a little bit of money. Mom and Dad, Mom in particular, she helped Fred a lot. She would pay his bills. She would give him money. She kept him fed. She kept him clothed. Fred done odd jobs. He never held down a full-time job. If he had needs, he went to Mom and Dad. I helped him. Julie's helped him. The whole family has helped him his whole life in one aspect or another.
Do you know roughly when the drug stuff started?
I mean, you've heard him talk about getting in trouble in high school for the marijuana. Okay. He got kicked out of Cherokee. He went to volunteer and enrolled in order to be able to graduate. He did graduate from high school. After that is when he married his first wife, and they were having problems. That's when he was married to his first wife, and had his first daughter was when he was working the heavy equipment operator job.
Okay.
And that lasted a couple of years, and their marriage started falling apart. But he had started doing pills at that time.
Actually, was it around the time that he lost that job for whatever reason or quit it that the pill stuff was coming up? That the marriage was getting rocky? Yeah,
it was all pretty much the same time. Him and his first wife were on pills for quite a bit. Okay. And, after they split up, he was on pills for quite a few years before he...
Are we talking about Laura?
No, we're talking about his first wife.
I didn't know he had a first wife. Tina?
Uh-huh. And that's who he had his first daughter with.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they lived in, I believe it was Sirgoinsville at that time. That's where the Habitat for Humanity house was built for them. I drove from Fort Blackmore, Virginia to Sirgoinsville, Tennessee every day. I'd get up early, drive my kids to school, drive to Sirgoinsville, and help with the Habitat for Humanity house every day. I helped build that house.
Did he lose custody at any point when they split?
They both did.
They both lost.
Eventually.
So she's sticking to all the things she told me. I don't understand what her fucking problem was with me, or where it went south, or why 6 Up started a big fucking thing with Tragedy Pimps Exposed. It was fucking weird as fuck, because I had no issues with her or Karen Renfro at the time they all started attacking me. And then Karen Renfro came into my chat and mentioned something about her land in reference to my family. It was really strange. It's all Rico. Look at Pima County, Arizona with the Nancy Guthrie. You will see similarities. She sounds like she's saying, but showing proof. Okay, so here's something my takeaway from Karen. Based off things Ziggy has said, Fred has said, and based off of even my own messages. Let me go back to these messages. I'll point out the ones. Here's the one. It's a whole other world down there, that's for sure. That's why when I left Beach Creek, I left all the people behind too. I really didn't associate with nobody. That doesn't mean I wasn't part of my family's life. That means I was a grown-ass woman and did not live on Beach Creek and expect my mommy and daddy to take care of me. Quite the contrary. I helped mom and dad, Fred and Laura, quite a bit. So has my sister. I mean, really, if I was such a piece of shit, how come I was the one that would go bond him out of jail? I have many, like the sentence I'm looking at here is, if it's a whole nother world down there, that's for sure. That's why when I left Beach Creek, I left all the people behind too. She made several statements to me like that, where she did. Fred and Ziggy do make comments recently on them where they say Karen felt like she was better than their family and she acted different than their family. Maybe Karen wanted to separate. No, I wouldn't say bitter. Because maybe Karen wanted to separate herself after her boss during the James Light shit with her, which she says is 2 lower tabs. I believe that to be different. You don't get that sentence off 2 fucking pills. I'm sorry. I don't care. You could get that in Max, but she also had pew charges and tried to cover for her son. That's exactly what you heard her say, but try to put it in layman's terms so that you could think she's a good person. I don't get the sense that she's lying even still after she backstabbed me, and I don't know why. She's sticking with her stories. I'm not seeing much of a change of the things that she had said to me. However, I do see a family dynamic here that many are not looking at, and that's a rug business at some point. And not just with them, but with the Lights and the Langs and the Jody Sue Browns and Andys and many others.
They both did.
32 in that indictment, I think. 33. And then there was some not named that they even said they brought in as informants and used to snitch. She's not named in the indictment. Jody Sue and Andy ain't named in the indictment, so they would lay in that category.
Why?
I do know, and I don't want to elaborate on it, but it was on both sides, and she was placed in foster care.
Okay. Did him and Laura have a child?
They had 2 children.
2 children.
She had a daughter from before she met Fred.
Okay.
And then they had 2 children together. Fred had a daughter, Laura had a daughter, and then they had a daughter and son all together.
Did he ever lose custody of those children or any rights to those children?
Yes.
Do you know why?
Yes.
Can you share?
Well, that stemmed from the incident in Virginia. He put a gun to my sister's chest when he shot through the house, and he did like 3 or 4 months jail time for that. I would like to make it clear that this is not my story, that I am repeating what Julie told me.
From Julie, okay.
So I'm not lying about a situation. I'm repeating what Julie told me.
Thank you for clarifying that.
because I have heard him say that I'm a liar.
Yeah.
He's not calling me a liar. He's calling his sister a liar in her accounts of the event. Okay, things had got pretty bad up there, and Julie was going to try to leave. First, she was up there at the request of Mom to help Fred and Laura with their children. It had got pretty crazy. We'll just call it crazy. And she wanted to leave. And she had found out that one of Fred's children was going to school with pills.
Okay.
Of Fred's. She had went to the same school. Her daughter was going to the same school at that time, and she had went to that school to unenroll her daughter because she was coming back to Tennessee. The principal pulled Julie aside and had a conversation with her about the other child that was bringing drugs to school, and let her know that DCS had already been contacted. So when she left there, she went to Fred's back.
She's sticking to what I've been saying.
Tell him, she said, I felt like I at least needed to let him know what was going on. She said that was my intentions. I went in the house. He was laying in bed. And she said, I was trying to talk to him, and I was telling him what about DCS and all that. She said, I promised Karen I was standing there with my car keys in my hand. She said, I had my pocketbook and my car keys. She said he comes out of that bed with a gun and puts it in her chest. And she said, all I could do, Karen, was just hold my hands up and say, Fred, it's me, it's Julie, it's me. Please don't kill me. She was begging for her freaking life.
Did you not say a word when he did this? He just jumped up and put a gun in her chest.
Yes.
And Fred changed that. That was the original story, and Julie was on bath salts. Everybody remember that? Now all of a sudden that story has changed for Fred. Listen, I don't dislike Karen Renfro. I got some thoughts on her. I don't understand why she quit speaking to me. She didn't want me to bring stuff out, and I wasn't going to. It did go to the TBI. I didn't think it belonged here, but it's been a while. And she still ain't coming to my chats and talking and explaining herself about, Crystal, please remember I love my land, or something like that. She made a comment really strangely. And then she changed the story she told me about this woman, Jennifer Satterfield. And that's what I want to get into. However, I do want to finish Glenda and Karen. I do have the messages. Let me just quickly. I'll go over a couple of them so you can see. This was about Jennifer Satterfield. Don't remember when, but she was bad on meth, crazy. They come to her house, and they was 20 some cats and a few wolves. Humane Society come and got them like 2 weeks after she passed away. Raven is DEAD. Someone knocked her in the head. Now, this is not the same Raven. Oh, hold on. Here's the two I read. This is not the same Raven as the psychic Raven. This was a woman named Jennifer Satterfield who, when I first started reporting on David Britt, really came to his defense. Which is why I wanted to talk to David. I felt bad. They felt I was accusing him of taking Summer. I felt some sort of way. He had a small child in the house. So I reached out to David and told him about Jennifer Satterfield attacking me deeply in my comment section. She was knocked in the head right after I had put out some messages with her name in it for the first time that Sage forced me to put out. And I always felt some sort of way about that. Like, I feel like it could be my fault. And I don't truly believe that. Like, maybe it was something else. But Karen Renfro changed her story with me. And she told me Raven wasn't knocked in the head. And Raven might be alive. And I have all these messages. And I truly want to go over them. But there's a lot of other stuff, too. Like about Stanley Dykes and things of that. But my hubby got home. And I'm on a half hour later than I anticipated again. But I do plan on it's early. I am going to try to come back later this evening, if not tomorrow, and I will go over this. I think, look, my dog wants out. I have to go pay attention to my home a little bit. Hey, Twister, I'm just about to get off of here. I'll be back shortly. I'm going to try to come back way earlier. I'm just going to go say hello to my husband, get dinner, get him settled in, and then I will be back because I really do want to go over these Karen Renfro messages. However, I think it's important that we finish the Glenda Head and Karen Elliot stuff first, just because she is really good friends with both. Glenda Head, I know for sure, but I had an interaction with Karen Elliot that leads me to believe that's why Karen might have stopped talking to me and started attacking me with 6-Up. Yeah, tell it about Stanley. It's just the things that Karen says, and that's what's going to come out. I'm done. She is welcome to come join my panel. I don't know that these are all of the messages, but it's a very good majority of important messages. All right, guys, I'm going to head off. I will be back to finish Glenda and Karen later, and then we'll try to get into Renfro. If not, Renfro will be tomorrow, and I will read all of the messages between us. All right, guys. Paz amore. Peace and love. Bye.